Yeah, it got chilly.
It did real quick.
I had like t-shirt on. I was like,
Yeah, not good. Nope.
I had my Canfield polo on.
Did you?
I was like,
It's too cold.
all right.
Too cold.
You hear me good?
Okay.
Okay. I might turn this down.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
loud.
All right. Maybe two. That might have been too much.
You hear now?
Let me see.
You
okay?
good?
Yeah, we're good there.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to blow out your eardrums here.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get this thing rolling. What's going on, Canfield Nation? Welcome back. Coca's Pizza, week number 10 of our Canfield football Coaches Corners and Player Profiles, brought to you by Coca's here in Canfield. Pleased to be joined by Mike Pavlansky, the head coach of the Canfield football team. Coach, week 10 already. Appreciate your time as always.
Thanks again for having me out here, Richie. We say it every year how fast the first 10 weeks go. It's no doubt about that. And here we are again, staring down senior night against another team on 224 in Boardman.
7-1 on the campaign. Big win against the Howland Tigers. Had the opportunity to go call that game. It's always a pleasure watching this offense and the way that it performs. Talk about it a little bit in that first half. Off to a great start, up and down the field pretty quickly.
Yeah, we were pleased with the way we played in the first half. We had 4 possessions, scored all 4 times, and our extra point team, read the block real well, and Gavin Raymond made a tremendous call, and we got off to an 8-0 lead with a 2-point conversion there. But everything starts up front with our offensive line, and when they control the line of scrimmage like they did on Friday night, it makes it easy for us to run the football and certainly to protect Brock and let him go through his progression and throw the ball the way he does.
So that wasn't planned on the 2-point conversion then?
Yeah, it was. Through the week, we noticed on tape that they sent probably one too many guys off the edge, and we told Gavin the first time you see that field goal or extra point, call the fake.
Okay.
And nobody knows if it's going to happen, so credit everybody on that extra point field goal unit for performing their job tremendously.
That was like reminiscent of Dover a little bit back in the day on that fake field goal to win it to the big tight end and Hunter Knotts in the back corner. Always good to work on those type of things, especially when postseason football is rolling around. It kind of puts that on tape for the opposition to look at and say they might have a second option here.
Yeah, no doubt. It just that's film work by our coaches and our kids understanding the situation and what we need to get done. Every week's a little bit different. Certainly you have your core philosophy of plays and special team plays and things such as that. But, when something presents itself, you want to take advantage of it.
Howland is a run-heavy offense. They feature 2 good backs. Masucci and Gucias was the other guy. Their quarterback also likes to run the football as well.
Right.
But as a linebacking crew, you guys did a great job of stopping almost every single play at the point of attack. Talk about what the safeties and the linebackers did on Friday night. Mazzella is a safety who had a number of tackles in that first quarter.
Yeah, Anthony's a junior first-year starter for us. He's come a long way, and he's just progressively getting better. He was injured early in the year, missed a couple games for us, but just really happy to have him back. And again, defensively, when linebackers are making tackles, it means the guys up front, the defensive line, is doing a tremendous job eating up blockers.
Yeah.
And Anthony, we like to get our safeties in the games, safeties into the run game, and Anthony reading his keys gets downhill really well, and was able again, to have a number of tackles.
So a big win against the Howland Tigers, rattle off 3 in a row after beating East, Howland, and then Dover in overtime. When you look at the schedule as a whole, it's been pretty balanced because you have West Branch to start it off, Bellevue, then you take a little week off, and then you play a team like Dover and Cheney, and now you're going into Boardman, who's a very good Division II team. So overall, this has been a really balanced schedule when you look at it from week 1 all the way to week 10.
Yeah, no doubt. And, certainly a lot of playoff teams on that schedule have been challenged. Our kids have been challenged, and, physically it's taken a toll on them. Mentally it's taken a toll. So that bye week came at just the right time for us. And, obviously we've got to be on our A game Friday night when Boardman comes to town for senior night. And, they need to win. It's like last year again. They need to win to get in the playoffs. And, Obviously we've been fortunate the last few years to come out on the right side of that score, and they're looking to, to turn that around, especially with their first year coach, DJ Dota.
Yeah.
They're doing a great job. You can see the progression and the improvement that the Bournemouth people have had, throughout the year. This is one of the better teams, if not the best team we've played all year long.
You're right. This is a carbon copy of last year. Boardman, a year ago, they needed to beat you guys at home to get into the playoffs. And they had that final possession where you were able to come up with a big-time stop there and hold them and win the ball game by less than a touchdown. This year, they're kind of the same thing. So this Boardman Spartans team is going to come in hungry because they need a guaranteed win to at least get a 16 seed into the playoff.
Yeah, no doubt. And let alone forget about the playoffs. It's a 224 game.
Oh, yeah.
It's a rival game now. In the last 7 years we've played, and they're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to it. That no matter what the records are, you're going to get each team's best shot.
This is a really good offense for Boardman. We saw it last week against Austintown Fitch. I don't think the scoreboard at the end of the game between Boardman and Austintown reflects the way that game was actually played. It was a 1-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter. When you look at this Boardman offense, what they did, they were able to spread it out offensively, and then they would go power with 2 tight ends and run the football. So what kind of challenges do you see from the Spartans offensively?
The number one challenge you just said is recognize what formation and personnel packages that they're in. And because they're certainly when the tight ends are in the game, they're going to run the ball most of the time. When the tight ends are off the field, they're looking to throw the ball most of the time. Excuse me. And it's going to be important for our guys, our players on the sideline, to match their personnel.
Yeah.
And if we miss, we're going to be in a world of trouble. They can run the ball. The quarterback, Andrew Hart Thomas, the tailback, Fernando Ortiz. Willie Torres is also a tailback, runs the ball really well. They're wide out, Keywan Robinson. Those guys are difference makers.
Yeah.
They can hit the big play on any play, anywhere on the field. And, we've got to be able to mark them and know where they're at. And when they want to throw the ball, they want to get the ball to 14 most of the time. The other guys can certainly hurt you. Freeman and the other guys can hurt you, but 14 is their playmaker.
They've got 5 big guys up front, maybe one of the biggest lines that you've seen since playing Cheney and Dover this year. So talk about them and, how having a very experienced front defensively helps a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt. And not only experience, but we've gotten better ourselves throughout the year, Richie. And, but up front, they're led by Caleb French, the right tackle, number 57. They'll flip-flop him sides, because they have certain plays they want to run right behind him. And Kyle Barnett's a tremendous player, and their center, Tyler Terlesky, is a 2-year starter for him, and he's come along and he's just really improved from his junior year to right now. And, you take those 3 guys and put 2 other guys around them, they got a great start at moving the football.
This is senior night for your squad, 28 of them. We're going to be fortunate enough to talk to all 28 here on YSN. When you look at this senior class, one of the biggest that's come through this program in a long time, and you're going to be doing a lot of handshakes and hugs on Friday night pregame ceremony. Talk about what this senior class has meant to this program.
It's a tremendous class. Number one, they're great student athletes. They're just great kids, come from great families, and we've been fortunate that they've chosen to stay in Canfield and play for the Cardinals. And we've been fortunate, to be able to coach them and develop relationships the last 3 years. It's going to be emotional Friday night for the kids, for the coaches, for their underclassmen teammates. Senior night special every year. You get a class like this, they don't come along, too often.
Yeah.
And, it's going to be emotional, but, 7 o'clock, the emotions are going to be gone, and we better get down and play football, because if not, it's not going to be a fun senior night.
No, it's not. Boardman's a good team this year. When you look at the playoffs, senior night, emotional, but these kids are going to have the opportunity to play another game, at Cardinals Stadium. That's going to be a very special opportunity to play in front of a home crowd for a playoff game.
Absolutely is, Richie. There's no doubt. That's one of the goals. You set your goals at the beginning of the year, and one of them is to qualify for the playoffs, and immediately after that, you want at least one home game. Our guys have played well enough that if we win the first home playoff game, we'll get a second.
Yeah.
So, but to play one is a feather in their cap, and so it won't be the last time for our seniors on this field, on Bob Dove Field. But senior night itself is unique and special, and again, we've got to play very well if we want a chance to win the game in the fourth quarter.
So you've gone through now 9 weeks of play so far. This will be the 9th with the bye week.
Right.
How do you keep your team a little bit mentally focused per se? Because you've won 3 in a row, rattling off some big time victories where, in the second half, let's be honest, it's been a running clock. This is going to be a different challenge. How do you kind of keep them mentally focused?
Boardman's got their attention. There's no doubt. They understand the type of team coming into town Friday night, the type of talent they have, the physicality they have, the rivalry now that's been developed since 2015. And, there's no lack of focus this week, believe me. Our guys are focused on Friday evening. They're happy we've qualified for the playoffs, but they want to give their best performance this Friday.
All right, big one on Friday. Boardman Spartans coming to Cardinal Stadium, Bob Dove Field, here with Mike Pavlansky, and it's time for our 3 keys to the game here, brought to you by the head ball coach. What do we got?
Again, it's the same thing in a rivalry game. You better control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. You got to be able to run the ball, and you got to be able to stop the run. I think at the end of the night, the team that's has more rushing yards is probably going to win the game.
Yeah.
Secondly, you got to create the turnovers, and you got to hold on to the ball. Turnover margin in a rivalry game is huge. And finally, the special teams. They got a tremendous kicker. We've got great kickers ourselves. And the coverage teams, the teams that can get down and win the hidden yardage and make the other team drive the length of the field is going to have a great chance. It's a special night, and every play is going to be magnified because of who you're playing, the night it is, senior night, and you got to give your best effort, like I've said.
Yep.
If you don't, you're going to go into the playoffs on the wrong side of a game.
Yeah, you're right. Coach, we appreciate you coming on once again. It's always a pleasure to talk to you here on Wednesday night.
Richie.
We'll have the playoff edition next week here at Coca's Pizza, and we're going to have 2 special seniors coming up next, brought to you by Coca's here in Canfield.
All right.
Appreciate you coming. They're good. A lot of people look at the records and they're like,